All right. Hey guys, welcome back to the CulePodcast. Welcome back to another episode, season 4, episode 1. And what better way to start off a new season for Barcelona, a new episode with a special guest. Guys, let me introduce Barca News, otherwise known as Mo. He has a Barcelona YouTube channel as well. A lot of you guys did ask me to bring him on, and Mo, introduce yourself because a couple of my viewers, they are fans of yours. They've been watching your channel, and they did ask me to bring you on. Just talk to me. How did you start your YouTube channel?
What's up, guys? Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. It's definitely an honor. I love cooperating with other people, and it was pretty cool when you reached out to me. So thank you again for that. And I hope that we do more collaborations. But the way I started my YouTube channel is I've been a Barca fan for a very long time, since I don't know, 2006, 2005, when Barcelona signed Ronaldinho. He was my favorite
Oh,
player as a kid,
one era.
And as a Barca fan, I always wanted to, stay in touch with what's going on with the team, signings, injuries, politics, etc. And I realized that in order to do that, I always had to go to different media outlets, different papers, and have to read a little bit of news here, a little bit of news there, and it would just take up too much time. So I thought, I kind of want to be the solution for that and just create a channel where someone can come watch 10 minutes and just get all the news all compiled in one place rather than have to hop around on different websites and media outlets. And I also love to talk about Barca, right? So that's why I did it. I never expected it to grow, but it did. I'm very happy, and I'm even happier being here collaborating with you.
That's absolutely great, and that's funny enough, like very similar to the reason why I started this channel as well. Just I loved Barcelona. I actually unfortunately I wasn't able to watch football in the early 2000s. I started actually watching football in 2015 actually, so pretty late. I missed the Pep days. I didn't see Ronaldinho play. I didn't see a lot of the key figures in Barcelona and the golden time. But I was able to see, for example, the treble win in 2015. I was able to see Lionel Messi. I was able to see a lot of that, and I started. I created the channel just because I wanted a place for all of Barcelona fans to talk and people to come in as well and talk and everything like that, and just have a big Barcelona community. But guys, the topic on today's video that I did want to talk about is specifically about Nico Williams and I think Club's president Joan Uriarte. He did have words in regards to Nico Williams. Some people view it as controversial. Some people view it as well-said words by him. And then as well, looking ahead at Barcelona's preseason and just talking about next season, just expectations, feeling, how are we going to be doing? What's up, Luke? Welcome to the stream. Mo, this appears to be one of your fans. She's showing love right there. But boys, let me share with you the audio, and then we'll give our thoughts about this. And this is I'm first going to play it in Spanish, and then I'm going to be giving you the English translation, just because there sometimes the translation, there is some stuff lost in translation. I'm going to first play it in Spanish, and then I'm going to be giving you the English translation. Let me press play right here.
Por último, aprovechando la presentación de Álvaro y de Andoni, unas incorporaciones que demuestran la ambición de este club por tener un proyecto sólido y ganador. Bueno, me gustaría dejar un mensaje desde el respeto por todo lo sucedido alrededor de Nico Williams en las últimas semanas. Bueno, Nico, un futbolista muy comprometido con el Athletic, ha estado sometido a un bombardeo de preguntas sobre su futuro de forma desmesurada y sin control, cuando está concentrado para disputar la Eurocopa por la Federación Española de Fútbol, que en nuestra opinión no ha sabido protegerle. Bueno, el respeto entre todos los actores que componemos el fútbol es una base fundamental. Bueno, así lo concebimos por lo menos en el Athletic Club, que no tiene como fórmula el someter a presión pública a jugadores con contrato en otros clubes para tratar de incorporarlos a su estructura. Bueno, dicho esto, iba a ser la última referencia que hacemos a este asunto, porque no vamos a contestar ninguna pregunta acerca del mismo. Bueno, quiero decir que el Athletic aspira a lo máximo, sin límites. estamos demostrando que tenemos un proyecto que es súper atractivo y ganador para nuestros futbolistas y entrenador. Y la prueba de ello es que últimamente hemos renovado a jugadores que están ahora disputando la Euro, como Unai Simón hasta 2029 o Dani Vivian hasta 2031. Nico firmó el año pasado hasta 2027 y también se han comprometido con el club con contratos de larga duración. Jugadores codiciados en el mercado como son Sancet, como Prados, Julen Aguirrezabala y Paredes, por poner algunos ejemplos. Bueno, el Athletic Club está capacitado económica, social y deportivamente para mantener en su estructura a futbolistas de la talla que he nombrado, incluido a Nico Williams. Gracias.
Okay. Oh, there we go. So guys, that was the Spanish translation. That's just the straight audio. But now I'm going to be giving you the English translation because obviously not everyone understood what was said. But this was the message from the president of Athletic Club, and this is in regards to what was happening with Nico Williams in recent weeks, the speculation, the rumors, the constant interviews. And he says this. Nico, a footballer very committed to Athletic Club, has been subjected to a bombardment of questions about his future in an excessive and uncontrolled manner when he is concentrated to compete in the Euros by the Spanish Footballing Federation, which has not known how to protect him. Respect between all the actors that make up football is a fundamental basis, or that is how we conceive it at Athletic Club, which does not have the formula of subjecting players with contracts to other clubs to public pressure to try to incorporate them. Athletic aspires to the maximum without limits. We are showing that we have an attractive and winning project for our players and coach. The proof is that we have recently renewed 2 of our internationals, Simon until 2029, Vivian until 2031, Nico, he signed last year until 2027, and coveted players such as Sancet, Prados, and Julen and Paredes have also been committed for several seasons, to give some examples. Athletic Club is economically, socially, and sportingly capable of keeping footballers of the caliber of those named in its structure, including Nico Williams. Now, that was a lot to throw out, you guys, but Mo, what do you make of basically John's words? Because that was a lot of information right there. Well, what do you make of that?
I'll say 4 things, and I'll try to be brief, not to take up too much
Okay.
time. But the first thing, he talks about respect between clubs, which to me it's hilarious and very ironic, because I don't forget when Barcelona went to San Mamés and the fans were throwing those printed euros with Laporta's face, talking about the club being bought by Negreira, or the La Liga being influenced by Negreira. So it's hilarious to me that he's talking about respect. Very, very ironic. Second thing, he talks about how he pretty much is accusing Barcelona on purposely bombarding Nico to try to put pressure on him to join the club, which that alone also goes to the first point. He's talking about respect, but he is accusing Barcelona of doing this when it's not Barcelona doing this. These are just reporters doing their job, talking about the hottest topic right now in the market, which is Nico joining Barca. Then he talks about, Athletic Club de Bilbao being financially and socially capable of retaining players like Nico.
Yeah.
Who are you kidding? If Nico has to choose between Barca and Athletic Club, he's not going to choose Athletic Club. Like, let's know your place and don't try to, stoop to the level of a club as big as Barca. And finally, I think he's just doing this as a pressuring measure, just to put pressure on Barcelona, saying, hey, if you're going to take Nico, you're going to pay the full release clause, 58 million euros cash, or you're not taking him.
Yeah, precisely. I agree with a lot of the points you made. Like, I don't see fault from this from Barcelona's perspective, because Barcelona, their job is pretty simple. Pay the 58 million release clause and you take Nico Williams. I also see maybe like the president being a little bit upset that, for example, Barcelona isn't going to be paying this huge amount of money, because when you look out in the market, for example, how many Nico Williams are there for 58 million euros? You don't. And the thing is, something also that I didn't want to talk about is what happens if Nico Williams, for example, he does that contract renewal with Athletic Club, but that release clause is 100 million euros. Do you think Nico Williams even renews? And then you talked about saying like, hey, can even Athletic Club even compete, for example, against the Barcelona? But Alvaro, thoughts on John Uriarte's words in regards to Nico Williams? What do you make of that?
no president is ever gonna openly say, "Oh yeah, I mean, he's in talks with another club. It is what it is." He said what he needed to say. It's funny, like Mo said about the respect, because we've already seen lack of respect from Athletic, but it's just I don't really put too much thought into that. We see how we've seen the report from different sources talk about Nico Cal prioritizing Barca, and we see, like, believe it or not, the Spanish football team Instagram page has done a great job of showing how well he gets along with Lamine Yamal.
No.
Don't tell me that he's gonna pass up on the opportunity of playing alongside him, being one of the biggest threats down the wing in the world, and playing for Barca. It's like Mo said, you're not. They can't compete with Barca. What he said is what he's supposed to say. He's not gonna say anything else. So that's why I don't really care too much about what he said. But I mean, yeah, and it's what you said. How many Nico Williams do we have with that release clause? Danny Olmo, who has played great, by the way, he's being a great footballer in the Euros. His release clause is what, 60 something million.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
it's
showing that someone of Nico Williams' level who has more talent than Danny Olmo is for a cheaper price. So, and Barca's
no.
gonna take every chance to take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm. I think Nico Williams, he basically hit his ceiling at Athletic Club, for example. And for example, Athletic Club, they're going to try to basically keep Nico Williams at the club. I don't
And
know.
look,
Okay.
ultimately, this is not a Bundesliga where most teams give players to Bayern or Ligue 1, where we see the same thing happen in PSG. Teams aren't like the Liga teams are not giving players to Madrid and Barca. But those teams have to understand, even if Athletic Bilbao is one of the better teams in La Liga, they're never going to retain a talent like that. It's impossible. Those
Uh
talents
huh.
want more. They want the bright lights. He's not going to stay there after. He's not going to be in that team past the summer.
No. Last season he had an offer, I believe, from Aston Villa, but he decided to stay at the club. And now I think it's the perfect opportunity to leave, because if you don't leave now, for example, then you are playing with the risk of saying, hey, what happens if Athletic Club, they are competing in Europe, but for example, it's the Europa League. What happens if Nico Williams, he doesn't have a good season? Then, for example, that door to Barcelona, it closes. And as you said, players they want to play in the biggest competitions for the biggest of teams. Nico Williams, for example, let's say Athletic Club has a fantastic season. They have a season like Girona. They get Champions League spots. How do you feel, or how often are you going to be able to compete against a Real Madrid, a Barcelona, for example, for that league title, and even in the Champions League? Look at how brilliantly Nico Williams is playing in Euros, and he's in the final. Like players who already reached that, they want to reach that consistently. Um, I mean, we've signed a lot of former athletic players in the past. It shouldn't be a new thing. Signs as well from Rival. But like I don't like see this like frustration in like towards Barcelona, because we've also had some of our players gone due to release clause. We have Dembele leave to PSG, 50 million. That's it. We can't do anything about that. And the one that hurt the most, Neymar. No, PSG they came, paid 222 million euros, something like that, and Neymar left. After that you can't really say much. You but Mo, any final thoughts on those words from John, or no?
Look, the Barcelona train just comes once, and when it comes, you have to hop on, and he needs to
Right.
understand that.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. But guys, let me know your thoughts on those words. What do you guys make of that? Um, I am more interested in Nico Williams. I mean, Nico Williams, he does want the move, because if for example, if Nico Williams
Does
did not want the move, then he would be the first instance of any Barcelona rumors or anything like that. He would say, no, I am happy at the club. I will not be entertaining any rumors or anything like that. But that's not the case. He leaves the door open, and in that contract renewal, instead of that 50 million euros, which originally was, his release clause, it went to 58 instead of 100, 120, or further. Nico Williams put that release clause in there because he knew, hey, if a club like I'm renewing my contract here because that release clause is low. If not, then I potentially don't even renew. Um,
And hey, man, I wouldn't be opposed to a little recruiting from Lamine Yamal, and I can put money on the fact that he has played he is gonna play a role in this decision
yeah.
making. He's not Nick Williams is not dumb, bro. He knows the opportunity that he has, and he has a chance to make a good team much better.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
No, but it's not even, for example, like Lamine Yamal. You also have Pedri, you have Fermin Lopez, you have Ferran Torres, you have
no,
Gavi,
I said
Alejandro
Lamin because
Balde.
like I said Lamin because that's like his best friend, but like
Yeah,
we get the idea.
yeah, but like in every single photo you see of Nico Williams, it's with, for example, like the Barcelona players. And there are other Athletic Club players in the Spanish national team. You have Unai Simon, you have Vivian, all in the Spanish national team, and it's not Nico Williams with these Athletic Club players. No, you see them with the Barcelona players, and that's that's saying something. Um, all Barcelona needs to do now is just pay the money and get Nico. That's all. Just pay the 58 million euros and get the man. Sign
You,
Homo as well. Well, I mean, I don't know about Dani Olmo. I don't know if Barcelona they're going to be having the finances for that. And even then, for example, I don't know how
he's
much.
not
Just,
worth 60 million.
yeah,
Hell
I
no.
mean, there we go. Like, I'm not paying 60
Hell
million for
no.
Dani Olmo. Like, even though he's having a fantastic Euro campaign, 60 million. Oh, I
No.
did. Yo, Mo, if Barcelona had the option to buy Dani Olmo, how much would you be paying for him?
25, 30
20.
max.
Wow, I mean,
Yeah, bro. If you told me that Barca missed out on Nico Williams and went to overpay for Dani Olmo, I don't know how you can be happy as a fan. So
mm,
it doesn't make
okay.
sense.
Look, we already wasted 60 million on Rafinha and wasted 55 on Ferran. We don't need to waste another 60 on Olmo.
Okay. Wait, do you see like the 60 million wasted on Rafinha? Because hey,
Yes.
Rafinha has been clutch this past season.
Yeah. Don't care. Yes.
Yes, big time.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Can we talk about Clement Lenglet still at Barcelona? Oh my God! It's 2024 and he's still here.
3 seasons later, this motherfucker's still
I
here.
know he has somehow managed to outlive. Oh my! He's managed to outlive Messi at Barca.
Messi
Uh,
and Suarez.
as far as everyone, 40 to 50 million would be the starting if we're realistic when it comes to Omo. Yeah, I think that's a little bit too much. I think that's a little bit too much. But guys, now shifting the conversation, I want to be talking about Hansi Flick. Because Hansi Flick's preseason has started, and this report came out earlier in the media, and it caught me completely off guard and by surprise. But apparently, Barcelona, requested by Hansi Flick, they're going to be implementing new medical tests, dental exams. Apparently, position of teeth, everything like that, harms your chewing, which leads to poor digestion, poor nutrients reaching the muscle. I saw that and I was thinking, okay, I don't know how much that's going to be affecting Barcelona, but attention to the detail. Barcelona leaving no stone unturned, just doing everything possible to get Barcelona at the highest level. I mean, I'm all for it. What do you guys make of that report right there?
I mean, when you're competing at the highest level, even the smallest thing makes a difference, right? And if they have the medical proof that somehow your
No.
teeth affect your performance, then I'm all for it.
Yeah. I also saw a
It's
report
not.
that said,
It's just nice to see that we have some medical news about improving the medical staff because we've seen the shit show that it has been the past couple of seasons. So
oh,
if they want to start with teeth and then worry about other forms of physical health, then go for it, bro. I really don't care.
okay. But
Plus,
now
you gotta
moving.
look good for the pictures. You know what I mean?
There we go. Marketing. There you go. But Barcelona need the money. Make the photos look good and everything.
That's right.
But now Barcelona, they're going to be working in preseason. I believe they're doing 2 training sessions. They did one today, and believe they're going to do it on Saturday as well. And then Friday and Sunday they're only going to have one. But guys, how are you guys feeling ahead of this new season? Changes by Hansi Flick. He's already looking at the youngsters. Barcelona, they're not going to be having the full squad to work with, players off of international duty. But Mo, how are you feeling ahead of this new season, especially after last, which some people say was a disappointment?
I'm excited. I'm very excited because Xavi was not it. Xavi was extremely inexperienced. He was way out of his depth. And with Flick, I feel like we have a coach that actually knows what he's doing. Now, having said that, I think we also need to pump the brakes. I'm seeing people like talking about, oh, winning Trebels again, and we're winning the Champions League, and it's like, I'm not expecting anything next season. We have a brand new coach, completely brand new scheme of play, brand new tactics. I don't expect anything. It's gonna take time. We have to be patient,
Okay.
and we cannot expect Trebels because it takes time.
But when you say you don't expect anything, what happens if Barcelona go trophyless in next season? Because Barcelona, for example, a trophyless season like last, like you usually get sacked because of that.
Well, if it goes trophyless, that's actually what I'm expecting is a trophy this season. But
Oh
here's
wow.
the difference. Trophyless season under Xabi was a disaster because the team was not improving.
Yeah.
He actually started out at his highest when he first took over,
Man.
dipped a little bit, won La Liga, and dipped even more. It got worse, actually. It didn't get better. So when you go trophyless and the team is not getting better, and in fact it's getting worse, that's a bad thing. But if you go trophyless, but you can see signs of the team improving, you can see a project starting to take form, that's fine because you know with time it's gonna eventually take off. But with Xabi, it could have been
No.
5 seasons. It would have been the same.
No. Yeah. You know, as you said, the best Barca from Xavi, the best performances that they put in was when he first came in. You know, when he first came in and he had, you know, your Dani Alves, you had your Fernando Torres, you had your Luke de Jong, for example. And he had that fantastic streak, and then it culminated in the 4-0 victory in the Bernabeu. You had the 4-2, I believe, against Napoli. But, you know, it was also it was really damning because you know in the second season he did win the La Liga and the Supercopa de España, but most of the performances you know it wasn't convincing. And then you know if your performances aren't convincing and your results aren't there, then you're gonna have what you had this season, for example. And you know why did that happen? Maybe is it lack of players? Is it injuries? Anything like that? Is our fault. Um, I expect at least a Supercopa or Copa del Rey minimum. Okay. New coach tax. I just want to see less injuries.
I mean,
Um,
look, if Barca go into the season without a single new signing, then I agree with Mo that trophies are more likely to not come than to actually come. So, but if you see a Nico Williams signing or something of that level, it's hard to not think of this team as like a championship caliber team, at least in the an Eurocopa or Copa del Rey. It's just seeing how well the players get acclimated to Hansi Flick's new style. So,
okay. Well, but do you guys think that, for example, this Barcelona team is bad? Because I think that Barcelona, their squad, it could compete with a lot of teams in Europe, just player by player. You know, when you look at it, I think, for example, as Mo said, the inexperience of Xavi to get the best out of each player, because he's a new coach and everything, he wasn't able to get you know the best out of every single player. And I think Hansi Flick being implemented, being the coach, he can take Barcelona to the next level. Hopefully,
I
hopefully
mean,
that's the case.
I'm pretty sure we spoke about this. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
we
go ahead.
did.
Sorry. No, go ahead, go
No,
ahead, go
no,
ahead.
I was going to continue like saying, hey, you know, with the players that we have and just them being better, and Barcelona they can compete for every single trophy. But you know, I think the most important thing is that word that I said, compete, because Barcelona in the Champions League we did compete, but you know we didn't win it. The group stage was very disappointing. We basically scraped through I would say a very poor group. In La Liga, we didn't compete. We were multiple points behind. I believe at 12 at one point. The Supercopa de España, we got absolutely demolished. And in the Copa del Rey, Athletic Club knocked us out, which became the winners. And so, you know, we were built at the same time, compete for trophies as well. Okay. Question right here. Do you guys think under Flick's Barca will play differently right off the start? I feel the past few coach changes, Barcelona didn't really play that differently. What do you guys make of that question?
I think so. I think the problem with the past coaches is that none of them really had a clear style of play, whether it was Valverde or Setien, God bless his soul, or Kuman or Xavi. They all just
Setien.
came and it was kind of like, all right, 11 players these are my 11 starters. Go out there and play. And that's why we didn't see any difference because there was no structure of play. And that was the big problem with Xavi and why I always said this project is not going to work because if you don't implement the system, if you don't implement the structure, It doesn't matter who do you have. You can have Mbappe and Haaland. It's not going to work. And Spain is a clear example of this. Spain is not even the best squad in the Euros. They don't have better players in France. They don't have better players in
Mhm.
Germany. And yet they are the best performing team because what Luis de la Fuente has been able to do is implement a clear identity. When you see Spain play, you know exactly what they're trying to do, and they do that time after time, regardless of what the score is, whether they're winning, they're losing. With Xavi, there wasn't all that. It was just go out there and improvise and have fun, and that doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, Abdul, thoughts on that question? What do you make of that?
I mean, yeah, I do expect this team to play better. Like Mo said, Hansi Flick does have experience. He's polished. Coleman, Xavi, and everyone that came before them, they weren't experienced. They didn't have a solidified style of play. So I mean, and look, it's what we were speaking about the other day. This team last year had the squad to win. They had a very good team, and I mean, they had it. They had what they needed, and they were not able to. So it was literally about style of play.
No, but I also want to talk about that point of experience. Hansi Flick, he's a treble winner. He's a sextuple winner. He's already managed some of the biggest teams in the world. He's managed the German national team, and he's managed Bayern Munich, and he's led them to success. When you arguably one of their best teams, Setien, did he compete in Europe? Koeman, well, what was Koeman show? Has he ever managed a team such as Barcelona, Valverde, the club? Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique, he did have a fantastic time, but he came off of Roma. He came off a team that isn't competing at the highest level. And then, for example, when was the last time Barcelona had a world class manager? And then you're looking at, for example, all the way to Pep Guardiola. So you're telling me that the last time Barcelona they had an actual adequate manager was almost 14 years ago? That's crazy for a team such as Barcelona. But I'm not saying that, for example, like the coaches aren't bad or anything. But I'm talking like if you're competing to win the Champions Leagues and to win, for example, everything available, then you want to have professionals, and that's something that Barcelona just I don't know if they had. That's one thing that people have to understand. Club football is different to national team, which they keep using it as an excuse. Okay. I mean, Spain had Laporte, Rodri, Ruiz, and Carvajal. Okay. Look at his national coaching tenure. Yeah. Okay. But before we round off the episode, Mo, if Hansi Flick does, if he does end off the trophy this season, and for example, he does show some signs of improvement, do you still keep him? Because, for example, what you just said, some Barcelona fans, they wouldn't be agreeing. Because some Barcelona fans, and the way Laporta's going, he wants a win now project. A win now, and that's why he basically pulled all those levers and just implemented all those changes. And that's basically why he got rid of Xavi. Because if you want to stick long term and you want to have a project, such as Arsenal with Arteta, then you keep him. You don't bring in a manager like Hansi Flick if you don't want to win now. What do you do if Hansi Flick doesn't win?
You definitely keep him. Projects take time. I mean, Pep Guardiola took him, 3 seasons at Manchester City until he started winning. It takes time. Xabi Alonso, was it his 3rd season at Bayer Leverkusen? Projects take time. You cannot expect immediate results. You'd be very unrealistic to expect immediate results, but you do have to see improvement.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
like, think about it as a plant, right? When you
Yeah.
put a seed in the ground, you don't expect a tree the next day. But if you see that the plant is growing slowly, you know you're headed towards your right goal.
Mm-hmm.
But if the seed never sprouts, then obviously you don't have a project. You don't have a plant. It's dead. The roots are
No,
dead.
I
And that's
definitely agree. And
No,
at
and look,
times, wow.
football is one of those sports that the new coach that comes in requires new signings. Other sports, the coach deals with what they have. In this sport, you make your own signings. You told the front office, this is what I want. With Hansi Flick bringing in whoever he wants to bring in and getting sacked a year after because he didn't win. At that point, if that happens, Laporta needs to leave because you can't just expect a new guy to come in every year and win right away. And if they don't win, that's not how projects work. And a team, again, Barca can't just kick out every player that didn't work last season and bring in a whole new squad. That's not feasible. So again, if we see Barca underperform this year for whatever reason, but we see a little bit of improvement and Laporta still sacks Hansi Flick, then he's a problem. So
I mean, I agree. Deco should go too. With all the players that we have, plus Nico, we will have a trophy this year. We as Barcelona, we go with the Holy Spirit. Well, I mean, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Let's hope Barcelona they're able to have a successful season, and win some trophies. Real Madrid, you see over there, they're reinforcing heavily for the season upcoming. And so Barcelona, if they are to compete, they're going to have to do the same. But guys, that was it for the video. Mo, thank you for coming. Also, guys, I'm going to be posting all of Mo's socials down below in the description. If you guys don't know who he is, which if you guys don't, you guys are living on the rock. I will be posting his socials down below in the description. Go check him out. His content is really, really good if you want to be up to date with Barcelona news. And this episode will be on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. So if you prefer to listen to your podcast episodes over there, I will be uploading it there as well. And guys, thank you guys for watching. Mo, thank you for coming on. And guys, let me know down below all your thoughts on everything that we discussed on today's video. And we will be back tomorrow with some more Barcelona content. We have Mo. There we go. But guys, catch you guys